Everybody else start to do the work while they watch on.
This is where composition can really come into effect as well. A crypto drone could be huge with an EMP. Also, fun fact, when ESA get to the top 5 on World's Edge, they have 100% win rate. They've only got there twice, but they have been able to get wins off of it, and they are very close to another top 5 here on World's Edge. But Sweet still is walking his way in, ratting his way out, trying to secure some extra points here for NRG.
He's going to hit the guys, though. That's what he's going to do, and he's going to try and survive as long as he can. There's ESA. They move in and pick up some kills. They get the armor swaps, and now FaZe have to think about making their move as well. Sweet's going to get spotted out here, but Season have been eliminated. The guard up on this high ground, trying to put some pop shots down onto ESA, I believe that is, as Sweet now makes his plays up into the skies, and NRG, unfortunately, that will be the end of it. Sweet manages to get into the top 5, though. A fantastic solo run from him.
And even though you spoke about this building for Optic, it's about when they go out of it. You can be very vulnerable because you can be gatekept at that doorway and you are kind of bottlenecked in, but it's ESA who are on top, and they will now try and at least make a move to get some sort of space, as all teams now hesitant to push out, don't want to be the first one to engage.
Well, now they go. They have to go Optic. They're forced out of this situation. FaZe trying to light them up at the moment, and through the fire and through the flames, it'll be Snipe Down who manages to get the knock. The zone's going to be burning. The guard now moving in, trying to hold out Optic from leaving this building, but here comes Skill Cakes. Can he clean things up here for Optic? ESA still in a position to maybe win this game, but there's 4 squads still alive here.
How is everyone still alive? And everyone's going up into the sky, and it's a party in the air, up in the clouds, but it's now beatdowns that come down as Esports Arena try and stay alive. As the guard are the last remaining, can the melees do it? No! Esports Arena continue their 100% record from top 5s on World's Edge. It's absolute madness.
Oh, the oxygen was getting thin.
They're trying to get this bread. They want to get this cash on the line that's here today as well throughout Split 1. But DarkZero, you're right. I'm loving the positioning from them. ESA as well. You can see there's an exhibit out for the information, just waiting for that to expire and just taking their time. A little calm before the storm, per se.
Oh, it's very calm right now, but I'll tell you what, it's not going to be calm in the comms for a lot of these teams in the next 20 seconds or so, because the IGLs have got to figure out where you want to go, which teams you need to focus. There's 5 squads, but one of them is a rat, and that is going to be Pow Pow, who could really be a thorn in the side for a lot of these squads. Esports Arena on the east side of the map are just going to be forced into the circle and maybe forced into an engagement with DarkZero. Optic going to be crushed in the middle of all of this, and you'd imagine that Exet and MPS should be able to fire on this side, but actually Optic go out. Optic get out of the middle because they know full well they would have been sandwiched, and they try and get a little bit of damage on these teams firsthand.
Set playing it patient. They were able to get some damage down, but it's going to be DarkZero who still has the ring at their back, and this is a must-win situation for them. They need to get into that match point contention, and you can see putting so much damage down. Bangalore ultimates are flying probably from DarkZero, and you can see Pow Pow now falling. ESA trying to make their move into the ring, and Optic being forced to inch forward. Same with Xset. Just so much damage and chaos going out again.
Well, that castle wall could be a godsend for some of these squads, as ESA now are going to be focused by Exet, and ESA are going to go up into the sky with a lot of work to do as well, because they've taken so much damage, but it's DarkZero who joined the battle late. They have full red Evo shields and surely are in one of the best positions to win this right now, but they've still got to hit their shots, and the shots will be hit as Optic Gaming get eliminated. We're down to 2, make it down to 1. DarkZero will take game number 2. They had the longest of journeys, but they knew exactly where they wanted to play.
They knew where they wanted to play.
Straight 3v3 fight between 100 Thieves and HEC. Both of these teams who need points, who need to move towards a more solid position in those standings, Dan, in order to qualify for the playoffs.
I think it's right that you point out the position that HEC are currently in, but there's a lot of water between them, and they're both going to have to move as this circle closes. So a lot of it's going to come down to what weapons they have to use, and also, of course, legend selection here. Is there any abilities that can help you out? We know 100 Thieves like to utilize certain legends defensively, and maybe that could be a position they could put themselves in a little bit later. Crook also has the drone to work with, and EMP could be massive here, but it's a very defensive composition from HEC, right? You've got the Watson to work with. It's not necessarily the most aggressive legend to work on this side and in this final circle.
My thought here for 100 Thieves is, do they have that castle wall available? If they've got the castle wall available, then they will be able to go forward a little bit and create some sort of cover in this open area to give them a chance to fight against the natural terrain cover that HEC do have. If they don't have that available, then maybe the advantage swings back to HEC here. But we always talk about ultimates. We always talk about legend composition, Dan. We also always talk about under pressure. Can you hit your shots? And that's what this might come down to here.
90%. 10 more percent really needed here. And I think they're going to get it just in time to work with. It's two very defensive compositions going up against one another. Now, 100 Thieves, what they will do, castle wall into the middle, take as much space as they can, and try and force HGC towards them, and use that castle wall to get as much cover so that they can then shoot down towards them as well. This could be the perfect play, and here it comes.
Mobile shield goes out, and there is the castle wall. Now, HEC have got to hold off the barrage, and look at the 117 spray coming in from Scurry. 100 Thieves are taking a huge amount of damage. Whoa. The missile swarm comes in, and so does the swarm now from HEC. They hold off the defensive push, and HEC, boy did they need that. But that might be a big point game that could send them a lot closer to one of those playoff spots.
Trying to shoot at the drone that's nearby, and now everyone knows exactly where Reps is, and Monsoon and Lux, they're hungry.
Complexity going to move down. They should clean up this KP nice and simply. They do indeed. Always helpful when you got an RE45 to strip away at those shields. Monsoon using it to the best of its ability at the moment. We're down to 4, and you saw where every single team was. But Complexity, they're on the quiet side of zone at the moment. Monsoon's doing a great job to hold for them as well, but Xset might be able to make a late play here. They might be able to stay alive just long enough to maybe get a second place if they could just survive and let NRG and Complexity fight this out.
Onset, I just realized Hill's still alive.
Oh, he's still there.
He is the lone survivor of HEC, and Complexity showing presence and blocking off the center of the zone. Brilliant work here. The path to redemption for them. They want to get to land. They need playoffs on their horizon, and it is starting here. They didn't make it to Sweden. It compounded the chance, so they're looking to get themselves onto land, but NRG wants to stop them. They want to put it here and now in a 3v3 fight at the very top.
Smokes are going down. HEC have fallen. Hill wasn't able to do anything as a solo player against 2 of the Xset members down on that low ground. You have to wonder, is there anyone in the comp here for Xset to get them up to the high ground, or is it just going to be second place by default? NRG versus Complexity. NRG looking to swing in, looking to take space, looking to do damage, but don't want to overcommit because they're not sure. And yes, look at this. Nocturnal has managed to get up to the high ground, and here come Xset, but they get dealt with. Has that provided the opening, though, for NRG now as the shields get switched away? Nathan picks up one. Complexity are falling. Sweet and Nathan left on their own trying to hold off Xset and the remaining members of Complexity.
Oh, I can imagine this is all but over as NRG, your winners here in map number 4, played incredibly well. And, you know, Xset tried so hard to get to that upper high ground.
On their side of the map at the moment. And now you can see Capra just going to work. He's got a Kraber, he's got a charge rifle, and he's seeing numbers and maybe a match point win here for ESA.
ESA, I feel like they can almost taste victory. They can almost taste the guaranteed playoff place. Of course, they'd push themselves into the top 9 anyway. They wouldn't need match point, but with how they are playing and how close they are to land now, you know full well adrenaline pumping through their veins, but it's still not job done. This is still a difficult final circle to navigate, but look at where Optic and TSM have to come from, and look at where they will arrive to. And I love this. Look at the move from ESA.
ESA make a move. Hal's going to spot it out, but can he get back to his teammates in time? Capra picks up one on Duplex. That's going to give him another move. Luda needs to stay alive, but he goes down. ESA all of a sudden on the back foot here, but looking to make a play.
Optic Gaming going to come into this fight. They've got to be careful. Esports Arena still winnable as a 2, but very tough indeed, as now it's Optic knocked on one side, ESA are on the other side.
ESA might do this right here. Optic are out. It's down to 3. It's down to 3, and as a 2-man, Esports Arena might have the chance to close it out right here, right now on match point. BR Demons, there's only one player alive. They're just going to spot him out, and ESA have surely done it here on match point. They are going to land. They get the job done, and what a dominant performance it was from Esports Arena.
How they walked into circle, unknowns to anyone, managed to creep under the building and then timed their push to perfection. But there is still a lot to do here because there is a lot of caustic elements that could come into the equation.
I mean, at the moment, Malawan's trying to shoot threes from the outside of the building. Aurora now pushing on to IG, trying to put the pressure on, knowing they have to leave. And there is that riot drill from Mad Maggie. Cleve trying to show that what he can do. The old man goes in as well. He gets the first knock onto Noises. Big spray coming in as well. He's got double SMGs. Anyone close range is going to get taken out. And now IG find themselves with one.
Well, maybe that win rate is in question now because two of them have gone down. JMW looks like he might fall, and it's going to be down to Aurora and Game of Drones. Game of Drones don't have a great win rate, but what a day it would be to change things. Now we're down to our last two.
Down to our last two, and Game of Drones, I mean, they just about made it to regional finals. It was 20th spot, the last spot for Game of Drones to get here, and maybe they could be the champions of our game number one here. However, they've taken a huge amount of damage. They have to reset outside of the building, but Aurora, they've been second place. They've been one of our best team fighting teams throughout the entirety of the Apex Legends Global Series. They do have the caustic to play with as well, but they don't have the Nox gas, so it's not going to be as effective as you want it to be.
You can see Game of Drones trying to position themselves, trying to take high ground, but they are forced back. But it looks like they are going to be able to take a spot. Wraith could come in huge here, though, for Aurora. We'll see whether it actually pays off. They get a portal down.
Ranches goes through, and Ranches gets the first knock as well. The pull is massive, and now Aurora, who looked like they were on the backside of a bad result, are swarming through to win game number one. And Wraith, we haven't seen you for a while, but that's a reminder of just what she can do in endgame.
So important.
This fight has to happen now, and that was a beautiful way to opening it in. Use the Wraith to get that damage, and you've got the defensive that's coming in. They're going to throw the Bang ult just to push them away and onslaught that. I love this for them. Now Aurora forced to disengage, but you have three teams inside that last building. You see Ascend, Alliance, Vex, just all cohabitating, which is letting Aurora take this isolated fight on to Game War. So if they can finish this before any of those teams move out of the house, beautifully done.
Aurora trying to go back-to-back here on World's Edge as they shred through what was left of Gamewood. 4 squads remaining. As you mentioned, they're all up in the same building, but they have lost players. Vexter down to just 1. We are going to see VZN down to just 1. So essentially, this could be an Ascend versus Aurora final unless these rats really change things and maybe disrupt everything. All the commotion starts to begin. Aurora now will make their way up to try and get involved and maybe try and take the high ground off Ascend here.
Aurora with 14 eliminations thus far, but they are not satisfied. Ranches just landing damage after damage. So many shields being broken, but Lufka's gonna able to snag it down onto Maliwan. Sure, VZN is down, and I'm really liking that Clevey is trying to anchor it out through the back. Now utilizing that into the void, going with the tactical. Very well done, but does have the portal available to them. They just went in, tried to clean up as many eliminations, but Ascend, they smell blood in the water, and they want a piece of it.
Ascend will push in. If Aurora wins here, they'd be on match point, by the way, but they will not. Ascend deny match point and make sure they were able to get a dub of their own and get themselves closer to match point. They had the best building. They had the best position.
Vex are just on the other side of zone. They're chilling right now, Dan.
Yeah, Vex have been chilling ever since they saw that zone 4 shift, but the one team that threatens them right now is Fire Beavers, a team who I said were in arguably the god spot at the time of that poll. They want to take this off of Vex. They don't want to have to fight their way in as the circle comes in. Instead, they're kind of taking this 3v3 here and now as VZN also just a 2 might be able to get back up. Maybe they've gone unnoticed a little bit here, and Zane will get that res, so there's still hope for VZN just now.
Pioneer's still in the lobby as well. Alliance is still in the lobby as Zane tries to do what he can. He's been the hero for his team so many times, takes one down, which might slow down now the rotation from Reply Totem, but with 6 squads remaining, Reply Totem looking for some more KP. Another solo player leaving the building. Should be able to finish this one off as well, but Sharp missing a couple of shots. Everybody's starting to look a bit nervy as KCP take out Reply Totem, but Pioneers go out immediately afterwards.
Get your swimming goggles on. You might have to take a deep dive here just to try and stay alive if you are one of those teams who are down to a 1 or a 2. SAF still alive, but my 2 teams to watch, Fire Beavers and Vexed, they are so close. They're being forced together right now. SAF shouldn't be a factor in this, but they are a distraction right now. Both teams looking towards them. SAF go down. It's a 3v3. It's Fire Beavers. It's Vexed going toe-to-toe.
It's the Wild Wild West out here on Storm Point, and it's time for a shootout between Vexed and Fire Beavers. And Tyler, he's getting pushed by 2 players almost immediately. A couple of shots not connecting. Not enough damage, in my opinion, for this fight to go the way of Vexed. As Fire Beavers now push through, it's all up to Matafe, but he's going to have those heals cancelled. And with only 1 player alive and 3 of the Fire Beavers still wagging their tails, it's going to be Fire Beavers who take down Vexed in the final moments. They win game number 3 here on Storm Point. And I tell you what, it was a wonderful push from them to Forge the building up on the high ground. They will have to drop at some point. KCP will have to leave as well. They don't have a huge amount of cover to play with, and I love this wide swing. Look at Aurora. Even though they only have 2 players, the space that they are commanding right now is so impressive. Plus, Ranches is going to get all of that loot that's been left as well.
Doing exactly what they needed to do. The question is, at what point is going to be forced off the high ground? You got Kansas City Pioneers over there in a building, Forge in a building, just trying to hold on. I think they've got the best positioning. They've got a little bit of a high ground as well. The question is, who is going to full send onto Aurora? Oh, they want to get their 3rd back. That's going to put the bullseye.
The Dark Veil goes down as well. Is that going to buy them enough time? Maliwan, I don't think they've managed to stick it quite yet. The pressure came in from KCP to make sure that they weren't able to get Maliwan back into the game. And now Dell has been given the responsibility to hold that off. Ranches is going to have a little push, though. Ranches is going to have a little poker. Maybe he's going to try and stick this, but look at this. Cleave's now gone down as well. Cleve left on his own. The reset comes in as well. And Ranches is now left with having to make a miracle play. Is he going to be able to stick that res? But now the push comes in from the high ground we were talking about.
And now Ranch is just trying to take out Sir Dell and make it a 2 left standing, but Forge 3rd party at the right time, and they are going to be your map 4 winners.
Leave me alone, 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 please leave me alone. He's trying to run and he's doing a hell of a job of it, strafing left and right, and somehow managing to survive. IG are trying to chase him down though. They want to clear their backs, and Hackis now has decided to go up high. He finds somewhere to call home. He's going to be able to heal, you would imagine. And with teams in the vicinity, he might be able to bait them IG into making a mistake here.
Yeah, IG want that extra KP, that extra placement point, but they don't want to overexpose themselves here. They don't want to give themselves away because look at where the zone is. They're in a good spot right now, and it's still entirely winnable as a 2, albeit unlikely as they get the KP. Alliance out. Now, IG into the top 4. They are on 35 points. A victory, of course, would take them to 47, but if they were to pick up kills along the way, still doable. I'd say IG are closest competitor here to try and take match point.
Nightmare Esports are above them, though. This is difficult for them to try and work out this position. They're going to have to hope that maybe Horizon come up and shoot them in the back here. The longer that IG can survive, the better their chances of winning this game. And there is the damage that comes in. You can see Noises, he hit the MP, and now Nightmare, they might be getting flanked by Horizon. While all this goes down, E6 are just watching, and IG have baited their time perfectly.
Yeah, IG just waiting, hoping that they can go unseen here, as now Horizon are going to make that push. Nightmare push down, though. IG will find them. IG will take the fight, but NM take them down. And it means that Nightmare may have got the kills, but it looks like they will be giving their position away as well as E6 coming to join the fray.
E6 trying to finish off the final player. Urban up on high ground with that RE45, but E6 with that swing have given away the high ground here. They maybe thought we're going to play for second place in this situation. A little bit of carnage going in and around the bubble, and it's all up now to 0-0. Maybe it's going to be E6 who come through with a clutch. They do! On the low ground, Element 6 pick up the win here on World's Edge. And for a bubble team coming into today's action, that is such an influential game.
Full sent it for the finish is what I felt like happened, but it means Horizon now, they're the team that is a full 3. They're the team who has a real chance to get a victory here, and it really would propel them closer to match point. Fire Beavers have already got the job done.
Alliance just got the res onto effect. Fire Beavers were so worried about Horizon's impact on the lobby. They knew they couldn't give the position up to overextend for that res. Fire Beavers haven't managed to get the res, and now Fire Beavers are in an awful position. They're in all sorts of trouble, and Alliance are coming in for blood. OJ Ray manages to get that battery off, but they get the finish. That might be the 1 point to put them on to 49 that they needed. Yuki is 1 HP and a dream, but they stay alive for now. Alliance, they're holding on here. They're creeping towards match point, but they can't get that final point yet.
Yeah, Firebeaver's also got a knock onto Horizon. Horizon down to a 2. They aren't able to get it. Did Alliance get that knock? I'm not unsure. But at the moment, it is going to be Alliance pushing in. And they get that kill. They just need to get the wipe. And then this will be it for Alliance. They'll be on match point as well as Firebeavers. There you go. And we have 3 teams now on match point.
And Alliance somehow have survived all of this. Effect takes to the skies, sends in the black hole, follows it up with the RE45, and now Alliance triumph on World's Edge. And what a battle that was for them to win. That was one of the most impressive endgames I've seen from a team in managing horrid situations.
But they don't want to throw away their opportunity to win regionals here and now. Both Alliance and Fire Beavers on match point. Ascend the only team who are not on match point, but of course if they were to win, they'd find themselves there and they would deny both of these two teams. At the moment, it's just a poke contest. You've got plenty of weapons that can hit from distance. If we were to see a knock on any of these squads, that's when this final circle would just explode. You have to imagine that Ascend are in one of the worst positions right now. Not only are they very vulnerable from both sides, but also both teams know where they are. They have hit so many shots onto them, and Ascend now are just hoping that Alliance and Fire Beavers will go toe-to-toe, but I think it's unlikely because the zone is going to force Ascend in first.
It's going to be really unfortunate for Ascend. Hopefully, they do have that Newcastle in the form of Kashera, would have that wall to be able to throw down, maybe play those supply bins in between them and Fire Beavers. But Fire Beavers is going to have to fight, which would then give Alliance the opening hand. And you mentioned it, there goes the wall. Fire Beavers taking the opening shots. Ascend about to fall. That means we are going to have a winner here and now.
We will finish it here in match number 7. Alliance versus Fire Beavers. It's all going to be won here and now as Alliance are looking to get aggressive. Horizon Gravity Lift throws things down and allows them to get the high ground. The smokes come out as Alliance look to try and make the push here, Tiff.
Oh, but they've got the Digi threat, so all the information available to them, but it's Hakis that's gonna fall, not before taking any other thing. Yuki in effect, you need to have the damage going in and out, but they're not able to reset. They can't get a line of sight on the Fire Beavers.
Fire Beavers as a 3 have the damage and they get another knock and now it's all down to 1. It's a 1 versus 2 for Alliance to try and stay alive and they're not able to do so. Fire Beavers will take the EMEA Regional Finals.